Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level?
It's over 9,000!
What, 9,000? There's no way that can be right!
Oh, yes it is. And here's the proof. There you go. Thanks everybody for the subs. Hi everybody, this is Just Some Guy, and today I want to talk about this tweet that I saw by Saladin Ahmed. So he's a writer at Marvel Comics. Let's just get into it because it's really simple, really quick, and I just want to take him down a notch. So he tweets this picture of this old Namor comic, and he says, a thing that almost nobody ever talks about is the fact that Namor in his early appearances is explicitly depicted as hostile towards white people. And then he shows this picture where it says, hate you. Yes, I hate you, and with good reason. You white devils have persecuted and tormented my people for years, just as you are killing each other off now, in this war. And then the next picture that he shows is, and so Namor dives into the ocean again, on his way to further adventures in his crusade against white men. Now, I get what Saladin thinks is happening here. I understand it, but context matters, and this is a game that progressives love to play. They will find something that fits their narrative and never tell you the context of what's going on. So I'm going to tell you the context because unlike them, I'm not a douche. The context here is that all the Atlanteans that Namor is associating with, that he is king of, they're all blue-skinned. The only humans that Namor has had any interaction with are Caucasians. So he assumes at this point in his story that all surface dwellers have pale skin, that they are white. He knows that this is the word that they use for themselves. So that's why he calls them this. This is not some ploy at attacking white people. It's not that. It has nothing to do with that. He's simply using terminology that in modern context certainly would read in that kind of racial way. But from the character's perspective, from what he's actually dealing with, the only humans he's ever interacted with are white. They're European in descent. That's why he's calling them that. Stop with this shit. Now, yes, maybe there was a color change to keep him from being blue and unrelatable to a young audience. They decided to make him look like a regular human or a white person. I know people are going to be upset by that, but whatever. And then they put the little wings on his feet and that was it. And he gave him the pointed ears. But they otherwise made him look like a regular person so that it would be easier for people to identify with him. Because if he had been blue skinned, let's just be honest, the character might not have been that popular. That's about it. But Ahmed, he has this idea in his head, he's got that mentality, and so anything that fits in with that little narrative, they jump on it, they pounce. Like Harvey Weinstein on a young nubile actress. Boom. It's stupid. That's not what's happening in this scene. It's not the context of the scene. And if it were the context of the scene, you know what would have happened? Saladin would have shown the rest of the panels. He didn't because he knows he's actually taking shit out of context. Come on, Marvel. You can't have folks working at your companies who do this type of silly bullshit. I'm not saying they can't have an opinion, but when you have someone literally peddling this idea that it's somehow okay to be hostile to a particular ethnic group or a racial group, and that this is something that our heroes should be doing, that it's something worth noting as if it's a positive, there is a problem. You shouldn't have people working at your companies who think this way. I'm black. I've said this before, but I have to keep repeating it. I'm black. Many of my friends are white. I would not tolerate people saying racist things to them just because they're white. It's not okay. You can't allow racism and then complain about racism. You can't have it both ways. You can't sit here and try to say that you're being marginalized while you're marginalizing someone else. It's not right. You can't have these folks working at your companies pulling this shit. This dude is openly, brazenly saying, I don't see the problem with Namor being racist against white people. In fact, I want to point that out. He has to go. I'm sorry, but he has to go, or you at least tell him, you take him aside and you tell him, you need to stop doing that. You cannot have him doing this. It's unprofessional, it drives away fans, and it makes you look racist by association. You don't want to look racist, do you? Nobody wants to look racist. You know how little people want to look racist? Actual racists don't want to look racist. Talk to any of the white nationalists. They'll be very, very quick. Oh, I'm not racist. I'm just about my white identity. Yeah, you're racist. Same thing with black nationalists. Same thing. Black Lives Matter. Same thing. I'm not racist. They come up with different reasons for why they're not racist, but the underlying point here is that nobody wants to be called racist. Even actual racist people don't want to be called racist. So when you have someone who's openly being racist, you need to check him. Check your people. Marvel, check him. Put him in line so that this doesn't keep happening. Because this is embarrassing, and it makes you look like you support the shit. But what do I know? I'm just some guy.